Once again, welcome to the summer school 2017 on classical miasmatic constitutional homeopathy. Our subject is live case taking. As previously in other four-season school, we take the case live. It's a new patient. I haven't prescribed for him in the past. I know him very little. Once we met 1 year ago. I always choose new cases that I don't know so as to be interesting for me and for you. We have to recreate the atmosphere of the office in order to have a good background for the case taking. So the patient will try to forget you, all about you, and I will try to help him. And you will try to help him by not talking, by being silent, not interrupting. You will write down your case taking, your notes. You take your notes in order to be able to compare what you have noted down with what I will be noting down. You will try to prescribe, not just wait for me to prescribe. It's important to do so. You will be more focused if you know that it's your responsibility to prescribe. I will try to be, I will not be as fast as in the office in order to make it a little bit more educational. I will ask much more things that I will ask in the office in order to be able to discuss about it, especially the phrases of the sentences of the patient. And we will begin. I will call our patient John. It's not his real name. Anyway. So John, let me get to know you. How old are you?
68.
68. Height, how tall are you?
170.
170. Weight?
65.
65 kilos. Profession?
Educator.
Educator. What brings you to me? What is your problem that brings you to me?
I was recommended to come to you. I've been healthy for many years now. But 2 months ago I fell by blacking out. I fractured my skull in 2 places and broke my nose in 2 places. I've been trying to determine the cause of it.
How did you fail?
I just blacked out. I stood and fell onto concrete.
You blacked out?
Blacked out completely.
For how long?
About 10 minutes.
10 minutes. There were others at the area when you...
There were others around me.
Others around you, yes. And they told you that you were unconscious for 10 minutes?
For 10 minutes. There was somebody there who knew first aid. Eventually I was sitting upright, and then I passed out again and emptied the contents of my stomach. Then it was 1 day before I was diagnosed with the fracture by a CAT scan.
Fracture of the?
just above the eye. 2 fractures here and 2 fractures on the nose. The nose is broken and now got a new shape.
Was there any final diagnosis? Why did you fail? What happened? What is the matter with you?
They weren't certain. They've done an MRI as well, so everything's fine inside. They think it's probably high blood pressure. It's the first time I've had high blood pressure. The night before I ate something which I didn't react to very well. That may be a factor. But touch wood, I've been healthy for many, many years. They put me onto medication for high blood pressure, very low dosage, which I'm reticent to take. So I don't take artificial medicines. I much prefer any natural route. But recommended to come to you.
So you took an antihypertensive chemical drug or not? Are you on medication now?
I am, yes, just 1 tablet in the morning. Let's see if I can find the name for it. It's Norvasc.
Norvasc. Okay.
It's
I know what's
2.5 milligrams.
Okay. Are you on any other medication for the moment? How about your blood pressure? Is it normal now?
The blood pressure has always been normal, between 130/40 over about 90. It's now back to where it should be, 130/70/80. But it peaked. It peaked
at the time you passed out, and then somebody took your blood pressure. How high was it?
At that particular time, it was 140/90, not very, very high. The high blood pressure came after travelling back, because I was working in a foreign country. So I flew back to the country I'm living in at the moment, and it was there that the high blood pressure was discovered.
Up to?
It peaked at 190.
190.
But then it dropped very, very quickly. I went to the emergency department. It was 190 or something. And within about 20 minutes, it was back at down to about 140.
The lowest number of your blood pressure?
The lowest number, I had a monitor for 24 hours, and the lowest number was about 65.
65, and over the other number,
the highest one for the 24-hour check was about 145.
145. Okay. Why did anything happen before having this incident?
No.
Were you upset or anxious about something? Something changed in your life?
No, I was just relaxing. I was on holiday. I was enjoying meditation, a special retreat. And I was very, very calm, very, very still. But then just stood up and blacked out. And that's never happened to me before.
A couple of months before this incident, was it a stressful period?
My work is stressful, so I'm taking care of the school. It's a difficult part of the world. Perchance that.
But nothing
significant.
Nothing significant happened?
No.
Any other health problems at the moment or in the past?
In the past, yes, 50 years ago, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease.
50 years?
50 years ago. And touch wood, I've been fine since then, so I've been careful with my diet. 12 years ago, I was attacked in my workplace. Attacked by an intruder, and my vertebrae in my neck were pushed out, and the vertebrae in my spine were pushed out. So I was off work for 6 months, and then got back again.
Okay, I see. Any other problems, operations, surgical operations?
No.
Okay. In general, you are healthy?
Generally, I'm in good health.
You do something about it? You eat healthy?
I eat healthy food. I'm on a vegetarian diet.
For how long?
25 years now.
25 years vegetarian. You mean strictly vegetarian? Milk?
I take no products. I'm not vegan.
Okay. Why vegetarian?
I started reacting to meat in about the late 1990s. It was first with meat, and I think the meats had been injected with some kind of antibiotic for the animal. And I tasted that. I just couldn't digest it anymore. It felt like a dark energy. And so he went off chicken, so he went off fish, and he felt healthy now with vegetarian food. That was in the mid-1990s.
Only for health reasons or philosophical reasons also?
Philosophical as well. Careful word.
When you say philosophical, what do you mean?
So you might ask me that. I just love all living creatures. And everybody has their own choice, but I prefer not to damage nature.
So it's not a kind of religion or something like that? No. Okay. You're not obliged to answer.
I'm looking at your eyes.
I see. Do you exercise physically?
Just walking.
Walking, okay.
And in Greece, I love to swim.
Swim. So, before asking other questions, what can we do about your problem?
I would like to get off the chemical medication. Maybe I need some kind of treatment to make sure the blood pressure stays low. But there's a root cause I've been discovering this morning. Let's try and get that fixed.
So, there are two ways dealing with health. The one way is the classical method of giving chemical drugs. In this case, most of the times you will be forced to take them for long or for life because they act alleviating the problem, lowering the blood pressure. Since you had all the examinations done, there is no pathological cause for this blood pressure. And it seems that it is a kind of nervous blood pressure. Since you never had any problem, you were healthy, your blood pressure was okay, then there was this unusual incident. The MRI revealed nothing pathological, and the thing that you have 190 and then you have 140 after a couple of minutes shows to us that it's a nervous blood pressure. This is good because we don't have a strong factor that supports this disease, let's say disease. And the problem is that when you get medication all day for months, we are lowering the blood pressure even at times that we don't need this help. And then you may have blood pressure lower than normal, and this will not leave the organism functioning well normally. Most of the times, nervous blood pressure, even if it goes up to 19 or 20, is not dangerous because it's high for very little time, and then it goes back to normal. So, if we have a pathological blood pressure for years, then it's like having the arteries being with great pressure and getting much more thin. The vessels are more thin and more easily to break. But when you have nervous blood pressure and you have for only some minutes and then back, you don't have any permanent damage on the vessels. So it's not dangerous.
That's interesting. Going back to the fall, I understood I lost about a pint of blood through my nose. So to me that's like a good sign, the fact that it's out and not in the head.
Well, it's the wisdom of the organism.
Is it?
When it is pressed, it finds ways to detonate, to get the pressure out.
Self-cure.
So you have this bleeding and it saves you from a stroke.
It's interesting because they referred me to the heart specialist and he did the CAT scan on the heart and the heart was fine. And then the CAT scanned me on my lower area and they discovered two little things I didn't know about.
What kind of things?
They had a tiny kidney stone and also a slight enlargement in the prostate.
Okay.
Things I didn't know about. If I hadn't had the fall.
Okay then. So, our way of acting in homeopathy is to help your organism as a whole to have you more relaxed and more balanced, and this will make the blood pressure normal and will have less incidence of high blood pressure and not so much, so as to avoid this kind of medication. Homeopathy acts not only on this one problem, but in general to all the physical problems that you have and to the psychological condition as well. We don't give sedatives, kind of natural sedatives. We don't act in an unnatural way, so we have no side effects at all. Nor do we have any problem if you use any other kind of chemical medications. The homeopathic remedy acts on the energy level, the chemical remedies on the material level, so there is no problem if you need antibiotics or anything else. The less chemical remedies, the better. So, I will ask some more things about you in general. Are you cold or hot in general?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, are you affected negatively more by cold or by heat?
Extreme heat.
Extreme heat annoys you.
Over 15 Celsius.
I see. During winter, do you want to wear clothes as other people or less clothes? Less clothes.
In the house, less clothes. I'm wearing now, but outside, well wrapped up.
Well wrapped because you feel cold, or in order to prevent common colds and such things?
I feel cold. I feel cold.
You feel cold. I see. Does it happen sometimes that although the room is cold, the bedroom, you want your feet outside of the blankets?
Yes.
Yes. Often?
Yes.
Do you sweat a lot easily?
No.
Does your sweat smells offensive, bad, easily?
I hope not.
You hope not. If you don't wash yourself for 1 or 2 days, to smell offensively.
It would, yes. I wash every day, shower every day.
But you are regular, so that doesn't happen. Does your stool or urine smell bad easily?
No.
No. Do the white blouses become yellow at the axilla area from sweat?
No.
No. Do you like sweet? Sweet taste,
Yeah.
sweets? A lot?
Not so much.
How about salt and salty food?
A little salt.
Not if you avoid it due to, for healthy reasons.
I can't take too much salt.
Why?
It tastes bitter in the mouth.
I see. Well, how about fat and fatty food? I mean olive oil, butter and so on.
I can take some butter, olive oil on salads.
Not what you do, what you like.
What do I like?
What you crave, if you crave butter and oil.
Very little or no.
What about cold water from the fridge? Do you like it? Do you enjoy it?
Rarely. I used to drink cold water from the fridge, but now I just have room temperature water.
Why so? Why did that change?
It feels healthier somehow.
It feels healthier. Do you still enjoy drinking cold water from the fridge even in winter? Not if you avoid it. No. How about spicy food? Do you crave it a lot?
No, I can just take it, accept it.
I see.
Not hot chili though.
How about milk?
Yes, I can take milk.
You like milk? The taste of milk?
With cereal, yes.
Okay. What is your favorite position of sleep? On your belly, on your back, at the sides?
On the front.
On the front.
On the front. But after the bump on the head, I'm trying to flip now, so I'm on my back. With a different kind of pillow, a higher pillow.
The doctor told you so?
It was recommended to me.
Recommended. And you do it?
I can't do it in Athens for some reason.
I see.
Got my feet at the bottom of the bed.
Do you have saliva coming out of your mouth at night on the pillow?
No.
Do you like the sea or the mountain?
Sea.
How about irritability? Do you easily get angry or not?
It's an interesting question.
Not if you express your anger.
Okay.
Do you easily come to anger?
Not easily.
Not easily.
No.
What makes you angry, or from what are you annoyed of?
I don't like to see children hurt. That's part of my worldwide work that I do. Anger is really something that's internal, and it does me no good to be angry.
It doesn't?
Be any good to be angry.
Well, this is logic, but do you usually get angry sometimes?
Only when children get hurt.
I see. And what do you do then?
I have to accept it, try to heal, try to be the honest broker, you could say, bring youngsters together.
Any other things that make you angry?
No, that's the main thing.
The main thing.
Children. I'm trying to think of maybe it causes irritation.
What makes you angry in an affair from your companion? What don't you like in a companion's behavior?
One must always accept the other. Everybody has things to work through and understand. It's difficult talking about other people, it's easier to talk about yourself. I think one of the greatest things is to listen and to learn. One of the things I'm discovering on my journey is that it's the importance of listening to people, understanding people, hearing their story, knowing where they're coming from, not to be judgmental.
Were you always like that?
Oh yes, when I had my bigger ego. I don't mind admitting to it. So I'm learning to lessen that.
I see. Did any incident change your way of dealing with things? Something big happened in your life and changed your way of seeing things?
Yes, I've always been one who likes to give. My soul's journey is to give to others and to help others.
Mm-hmm.
And I was searching a lot, doing a lot of global work, United Nations work, and it was almost to the point of not to give, but to learn, to understand.
I see.
There's a very, very fine line between giving, what you think is right, to listening and understanding and working with the other person. And so in all others, I love to see people feeling loved and valued and respected and understood and safe. They're the 5 key areas. And that came to me about 25 years ago.
I see.
And that was a big change. And the second big change I had shortly after that was I met a very wise person. And she said, Peter, you're always traveling the world, doing things and helping and giving. And she said to me, if you'd like to write down anything that you've done in your life you regret and give it to me, can you do it now? Well, that was quite a challenge. So I finally managed to write something down and present it to her. And then she said, now you've done that, the world is yours.
I see.
So clean out. So they're the 2 key ones.
Do you express your anger when you get angry?
Rarely.
Rarely. And how do you do it? How do you express your anger?
Usually a raised voice. We think of one recent incident. I would say it's not my way. I always try to flip it into a learning point for myself and the other person.
I see. When somebody does something to you and it's something serious, do you remember it?
I learn from it.
You learn?
I learn from it. I tend to learn from it and let go of it.
I see. But when a child is hurt in front of you, how do you react?
I tend to protect the child that's hurt, but listen to both sides.
Even if it's a child that you don't know, persons you don't know in the street? Even if the other guy is very angry and you are in danger?
It's back to the time I was attacked at work. There were children all around me, but I had to stop the attacker, because the attacker would have hurt the children. So I was the front guy.
I see.
And I paid for it.
Are you sloppy? Are you tidy?
I'm tidy.
Very tidy?
As tidy as you.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. You're asking the question.
Do you want all things to be in order at your house? Your clothes, your things? Not at work? You may be very orderly at work. At your house?
Orderly, yes.
Very, very orderly?
Orderly.
Orderly. Okay. What about your personal affairs? Do you easily talk about your personal affairs to others?
I'm quite private.
Quite private. To how many close friends do you talk about your personal problems?
To you? I'd say about 5. I call that an anankara.
About 5?
About 5.
Do you open yourself on your own, or you have to be pushed a little to talk about?
Very open.
Open?
Very open. That's called an anankara, which is like a soul friend. Rather than a soulmate, a soul friend, somebody you can share with, and it's accepted without judgment.
Any fears?
Yes, it was interesting to reflect falling when I had this crack on the head. I wanted to make sure there was no bleeding in the head, in the brain. So I was concerned. Fear is the wrong word. But I wanted to make sure there's no bleeding, and hence the MRI scan.
I see.
Why? Because I feel as though I've got a sole purpose. To want to get on and do things, to complete what I need to do.
In the past, before this incident, were you concerned about your health?
Only by what I eat, because of the Crohn's disease.
Yes.
But touch wood, everything's been fine. No recurrence.
Did you do checkups regularly?
Not regularly, no. If I'm feeling well, I go to get sick advice.
Do you like reading things about health matters, things like that?
Not grossly, no.
I see. Do you, in the past, did you often go to the doctor? Easily? Normally or rarely?
Oh, rarely.
Rarely.
The last time I was the doctor was when I had this attack at the workplace. And that was 2003.
When this incident happened, after this incident, were you scared?
Yeah.
A lot?
Not a lot. I wanted to make sure the brain wasn't bleeding.
I see. Do you still have some kind of fear about this fact?
I need to be careful with my health at the moment. That's why I'm here. I don't want to be on this chemical medication. I want to make sure as much as possible my body's fit and healthy. I continue doing what I need to do, to travel a lot and to feel and to learn.
I see. After this incident, when you hear about someone that had a stroke, a heart attack, cancer, something like that, do you start feeling and thinking, what if I have the same thing?
No.
No.
No, my heart's more compassionate towards an understanding of what we have.
I see.
So I listen.
When you leave the house or your car, do you often have the idea that you have forgotten something? Not if you really forget it, but start thinking, what if I left this or that?
No.
When you are waiting for an important appointment, do you have a lot of anxiety?
I made sure my alarm was set this morning to be here.
But do you go to the toilet more often when you are anxious about waiting something?
No.
No. Afraid of heights?
No.
No. What about yourself? Do you think that you are on the average as to IQ, as to smartness, less than the average or over the average? What do you think of yourself?
Working to my capacity.
Yes, but compared to other people, are you more smart, less smart, the same?
Everybody's smart. Everybody's got a gift to give, and we sometimes forget that. IQ is a number, EQ is a number, but everybody's got a gift to give. So I think one of the changes I had over 20 years ago was awareness of the importance of humility. To understand that the presence of every other person is important. Which I understand in Greek is parousia, the essence of something.
You like reading books?
Yes.
A lot?
Not a lot.
You do it in practice? You do read a lot of books?
I used to, but much less now.
Why so?
I feel very content in myself.
Feel contented.
Content. And the best TV in the world are my eyes. And being out and meeting people and being in society. That's the real TV.
I see. what about movies? What kind of movies do you like to watch?
I don't watch movies.
Why so?
It's the same as a TV thing. I just like watching life.
But if you watch a movie, what would you prefer?
Oh. I watched Avatar recently.
Avatar.
Avatar. That's the first video I've watched in years.
What about books? What kind of books do you prefer?
More on the spiritual side.
Yes.
Books related to the soul journey, intuition, and ancient wisdoms.
Are you gullible, or are you a little bit mistrustful when you meet someone for the first time?
This is my greatest strength, my greatest weakness.
What do you mean by that?
I trust everyone. And every now and again I get caught out.
Were you crooked many times?
No, surprisingly not.
Do you often have cramps?
No.
No. Do you usually have cracking bones?
So I go to my chiropractor about once a month to get this neck sorted out.
Do you have often cracking bones? Cracking joints? Do your nails break easily?
Just recently.
Okay then, John.
Not easily.
Not easily. Okay then, John. I'm done with you. Thank you. Wait a minute. Let me explain what we are going to do from this point on. You are going to take your medication, your homeopathic remedies. It's going to be capsules. You are going to take one first capsule the first day, and then there is going to be another kind of capsules, and you take one capsule per day. It's going to be for 1 month's time, or 2 months, we'll see about it. And I want you to call me in 15 days after you start the treatment and tell me how you're going on. We don't have any kind of side effects. You may experience a headache or some sleepiness during the first hours or days. It's not a side effect. It's because your organism reacts and tries to get over the problem. It's something helpful. But it happens only 5% of the cases. So I tell it to you so as not to be surprised. And you will have to not to drink coffee and anything that has caffeine in it. Cola, drinks, coffee, any kind of coffee. So that's it. Thank you very much. You can have your seat in the back.
And then listen to the...
and listen to the analysis. I will try to be gentle with you. Well, this is a joke because we are never judgmental to the patient. In the same way that you are not judgmental with your students. Because our focus is to help you. And we can help you only if we are noting down things and taking a picture of it. a psychological MRI of him.
It's very interesting, actually, very interesting feeling. Because you're going to get right inside the soul.
Yes.
And the bits are getting, ooh, wow, he's found a spot.
So, what do we do now? The first step is to take the case. The case is the allopathic history and then the main homeopathic history, which focuses, as you have already seen, on the psychological aspect during the state of clinical health. We chat with the patient. We relax him so as to let him speak. And from what you have seen, there wasn't any kind of difficulty in opening up and talking. In fact, he talked a lot, even without pushing him a lot. So, this is the way to deal with a human person. We don't have to do with a patient. We have to do with a human being, a unique human being. Our art as a homeopathic doctor is to take the information and translate it, interpret it into constitutional pictures. Because the person is one thing and the constitutional picture that affects the person mainly at the present is another thing. The one is a person, the other is a constitutional picture. A person may be affected by many miasms in a different way. A person may be affected by 2, 3, 4 constitutions, and we may have in his picture, apart from the main constitutional picture, several other secondary influences. But we have to decide which is the main, which is the most similar, with full similarity, psychologically and physically. So, this is the first step, which is very determining. In fact, what do we do when we take the case is fishing. We have to give the fish, the patient, the person, the bait. A nice, juicy, smelly bait. What is this bait? The questions. The way we ask. The way we approach the person. This is the bait. Sometimes when the fish doesn't eat the bait, we push the bait. We help him express. When he bites a lot but little, in his loquacious, he speaks a lot, we stop him. At the present, I didn't stop him, although I could. If I were at the office, I would finish the case in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, because it's a clear case. I mean, 10 minutes as concerns the homeopathic question. We would have the allopathic history, the explaining to do about the treatment and so on, but the main homeopathic questioning could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, the most. Because he